Hi guys, it's Jamie from Two Sides of the Pitch podcast. Myself and Colin have teamed up with Alloy Collectors as our new channel sponsor. We're extremely happy to have them on board. They've given us this fantastic little niche market which has never been done before in a metal shirt jersey. It comes flat packed or pre-made. Obviously, we've got the Spurs one because we're a Spurs content channel, but they've also got the likes of West Ham, Chelsea, PSG, and Inter Milan. They've also got other clubs that they're talking to, so keep an eye out on their website for that. It's very simple to put together. You get all the information in here so you can put the name on the back. We've gone with the likes of Mickey van der Ven. It's the perfect gift for the perfect football fan. With Christmas also coming up, if you want to save some money, use our discount code 2sides to get 15% off. All the links are in our bio, including their website, so please check it out and get this fantastic merch.
Hey everybody, it is Carl, and you're tuned into Two Sides of the Pitch podcast. Jamie is away handling some family business at the moment, but I am joined by the wonderful Robbo from
Hey
Robbo
guys,
Reacts on TikTok. How's it going, buddy?
all good, all very, very good. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I know I'm not replaceable for Jamie, but yeah, I'll do my best.
No, you're wonderful. You're wonderful. Thanks for being here, man. I truly appreciate you. And until tomorrow, that is.
Until tomorrow.
We play
Yeah,
again.
absolutely.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a rough one. But as usual, everybody, I just want to welcome you in to Two Sides of the Pitch podcast. And normally I would say we're your hosts, Colin and Jamie, but like I said, Jamie is busy today. But we're your hosts, Colin and Robbo, and it's gonna be a great show. First of all, Robbo, I'll just ask, how are you feeling about the match tomorrow?
Nervous, a lot less confident than I was this time last week. This time last week, we were just about to play Palace and we were on form, scoring goals. But the two games, the Palace game and the Europa League, it's made me more nervous. We will see. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I think the way Tottenham play will probably suit Man United. But it's going to be an interesting game. So I'm a little bit nervous because Tottenham have some dangerous players and we can be successful at the back, but we also have dangerous players as well. So nervous, but excited to watch hopefully a good game.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think both of our teams play a similar kind of open style, and I'm hoping we see that. I'm hoping we see that tomorrow. Because if so, there'll be plenty of chances for both teams. Yeah. I know that the team we last played, Karabag, in the Europa League, could not hit the target if it's was to save their lives. But I have a feeling United will be a bit better in that category. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I have the banner down there. Can Spurs beat this United team? I'm not all the way sure, but I have to back the boys all the way.
Absolutely.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Hey, I hate to say this, Robbo. You guys' tie with FC20 won me a couple of bucks. I put a little bet down for a draw, and
did you really? Wow. Okay, fair enough.
Turned $5 into $57, so it bought me the new FIFA. So you can't beat that.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Man. Yeah. Are you a
very
FIFA
nice?
player?
I haven't played FIFA for a few years now. It went for a stage of not being sort of updated like very much. So it might be something to sort of consider for this year. So I know it's gone away from the FIFA. It's now called like EA FC or something like that.
Yeah, you're basically paying for a lineup update. You know what I mean? Like it's silly.
Yeah.
But here I am.
But at least some good came out of the Man United game. Then at least some good came out of it.
Exactly. Hey, thank you. I just had a feeling. I don't know why. It's those European matches. A lot of draws you see in those. So.
Speaking of draw, sorry to interrupt. Arsenal were 2-0 up earlier. It is now 2-2. They are drawing 2-2 with Leicester at the moment with about 24 minutes to go. So
my score for Jose's prediction channel, he's got a prediction show he does. My predicted one was 3-3. So if they draw, I get a point. So I'm happy with that. Happy days.
And
also, we're all of us in the top 4 race are happy to see Arsenal drop points. So good Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't have that game going right now, but if you see any more changes, let me know if you don't mind.
Yeah, will do. I've got my phone just in front, so it's got all the Premier League scores updating constantly. So yeah, there's been some good games. Chelsea are 4-2 up. Cole Palmer 4 goals in the first half.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, so and Everton are winning. So yeah, it's been good games so far. Obviously Newcastle City earlier today 1-1. So drop points again for City. But anyway, we're here to talk about Tottenham against United. Let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you think all the way back to last season, when we played you guys, we had a 2-0 Tottenham win, and then a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
In the second fixture. I'll just jump straight into it. Is there a player that you're the most worried about in this Spurs team?
Kulusevski. I rate Kulusevski. He's very dangerous. I was hoping Anthony was going to be that type of player to play on the right and cut in and use that wonderful left foot, but Anthony's not doing it for Man United. But Kulusevski is a wonderful player. He's strong as well, and I do think we are not as strong on our left side. So I think that could be a big danger for Man United tomorrow. If we give Kulusevski space and time, then we could be in trouble down that side. So he does worry me. He's a really, really good player. And Solanke also, 2 goals in 2 games now. So he seems to have started off really well now. Do you know what I mean? 2 games ago, people were saying, "Oh, he's got to score," but he's now done 2 and 2. So yeah, Kulusevski linking up with Solanke is a danger, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And you were talking about Solanke. His goals have both been tap-ins, but that's exactly what we needed him for. We've been getting the ball into that area. We just needed somebody to finish it off. And speaking of 2 goals in 2 games, what about Brennan Johnson, 3 and 3?
3 and 3, yeah. He's shutting the haters down. Do you know what I mean? There's been a lot about Johnson with a lot of people been sort of saying stuff about him. He shut down his social media's account, and sometimes the best way to respond to criticism is on the pitch, and he's doing that now. Do you know what I mean? So if you're scoring every game and winning games for your club, that's the best thing. That's the best way to shut the haters up. So fair play to him. Hopefully he doesn't do it tomorrow, but then hopefully he'll continue to do it after tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm pleased for him because no one wants to see that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm pleased for him to be getting in form and doing what he does best, and that's why Tottenham signed him in the first place, to do that sort of stuff. So hopefully he can continue it, just not tomorrow.
And hey, I know exactly how you're feeling. I do want to say good for him too. Sometimes it does take some major criticism. You need that chip on your shoulder. Some players need that almost anger. And the first of the 3 goals he scored for us, he didn't even really want to celebrate. He looked almost angry afterwards. And a player sometimes needs that anger. They kind of feed off of it, and maybe that's just the type of player he is. I'd rather have an angry Brennan Johnson than a scared Brennan Johnson. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. So, but you're right.
Yeah.
Not good what anybody has done. The things said about him on social media were not cool. But again, hopefully he can continue to turn that into on the pitch production. We've got somebody joining us in the chat. It's one of my favorite people. It's Wayne Bonner. Says tomorrow's a 50-50 game. We can win, but United can win. Either way, it's going to be a hell of a game. Totally right. He says, hope everyone's well and pumped for the game tomorrow. Well, we sure are. Well, I don't want to speak for Robbo, but I sure am. I think Robbo is.
I'm really excited for it. I think it's 2 teams where, the managers are probably under pressure a little bit. But Tottenham really go for games, and Man United will go for it as well. Being at home, they'll have to go for it. They'll need to get results, obviously, the last 2 games. So I am really pumped for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a really exciting game. I agree with Wayne. It's a 50-50 game. Anyone can win this game. It could be probably a 4-3 game either way, or it could be entertaining but a 1-0 game. It could do anything, this game. I think it's really exciting, and I think it's drawing a lot of viewers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. And then Wayne's still hitting us with the comments. Big up Wayne. He says Kulu is the bollocks. Definitely play him in the middle again tomorrow. He has absolutely been better, I think, in the middle than on the wing. He's less predictable, On the wing, he's going to cut in. He's going to try, like you said, that left foot he's got. Whereas in the middle, I think he's got a little bit more, I don't want to say surprise in him, but he's not quite as easy to read, and his ball retention and strength that you mentioned is better used in the middle of the pitch. So yeah, I'm hoping we see him in the middle tomorrow as well. And then he's saying with Solanke's 2 goals, he read the situation, he knew where he needed to be. He's impressing me. Good work rate. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. So I've asked you, the players that you're most worried about.
Yeah, go on.
So it's time for me to answer the players that I'm most worried about. First question is for me to ask you though. Is Højlund injured at the moment?
So he's coming back from injury. So he's come off the bench in the last 2 games.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, he was injured over the summer. He's literally hasn't played until the Crystal Palace game where he came off the bench, and then he came off the pitch again on Wednesday. So he's currently coming back from injury. So I'm hoping he'll start tomorrow, but it's a good option to have from the bench.
Absolutely. You guys have got some speed on the wings. You've got some speed on the wings where we can easily be beat in transition. Spurs, we like to play that super duper high line. So I'm a little bit worried about transition, about if we get caught up the pitch. You saw in our Europa League match, Dragusin having to take the L, having to take that red card to stop that breakaway. I mean, I can't blame him. I think he did the right thing there. We have his brother on the podcast on Monday, so that's going to be a funny talking point.
Oh wow! Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. But no, I am a little bit worried about you guys' wing play, just getting in behind. I wouldn't say that our fullbacks, while not terrible, I think especially on the left this season, we've got Udogie out there. I don't think he's been on his game. So there's definitely an area, I think, to exploit if you're Manchester United. I think you try to attack up your right side, to take full advantage of that, I guess you should say. Could you see that happening? You guys sitting back and trying to beat us on the counter, or do you think you'll come at us full forward?
I think we'll go. I think we'll go for it, but we'll also take advantage of the way Tottenham play and the way sort of that Tottenham press and go forward. And we can play well against when teams won't come for us, because we are, like you said, you quite rightly said, we are very quick. With Garnacho, Diallo, Rashford, whoever he plays on those sides, they are very quick players. So the transition from being attacked to then attacking is very quick for Man United. So they'll have to take advantage of that when they can and make the most of those opportunities. So yeah, I do think that is a possibility of a real threat for Man United.
And so do you think you'll see mostly the same? I'm going to pull up your combined lineup, but we were talking a bit before about our just predicted lineups for the match in general. Do you think we'll see mostly the same team that we saw against Palace? Do you think you guys will make some wholesale changes? Because, of course, it was 0-0, no goals scored for either team, which is good that you didn't get scored against, but slightly worrying that you couldn't put any past them. We know that you guys have a pretty thick squad. You've got options. Yeah. Do you think we'll see some changes from that?
I think the lineup will be pretty much the same. I think the choice that Ten Hag has is whether to start Højlund from the start or whether to keep him on the bench and start Xerxes, who I'm still not quite sort of sold on just yet. And then he's got a choice of the wings. Rashford, Garnacho and Diallo are both, all 3 of them are, dangerous. And it's who to pick. He made the decision to start Rashford on the bench and have Garnacho and they call him Ahmad, so we'll call him Ahmad on either side. So that's a decision he's got to make. If personally, with the form the players are in, I wouldn't like to call it. Rashford was playing well till he was sort of benched. Garnacho is dangerous, and Diallo is coming to himself and on the right hand side, coming in from that side. So I'm not sure. I think he'll start with Rashford and Garnacho, I think. But if Diallo starts instead of one of those 2, it's not a bad sort of choice to have.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of nice to be spoiled for choice there on the wings. And you said Diallo. There's a nickname they're calling him. What is it?
Is there a nickname? I don't know. I know they call him Ahmad by his first name.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I'm
he has.
learning
I
things.
think he has Ahmed on his back. I don't know why. But yeah, so
Okay.
his name's Ahmad Diallo, but yeah, they call him is Ahmad is on his back. So it
Interesting.
really
Well,
confuses me because I always go like I'm old school. I always go by the last name, so that's what you call him. But then you see like Van Dijk has Virgil on the back on his back and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
I like to call a player what they want to be called. There
yeah,
was a while we had Dele Ali, of course, and he wanted to be called Dele.
yeah,
And you got to try to be respectful of people, what they want to be called. I get that.
yeah,
But it is hard. I'm like you. I'm old school.
yeah,
The last name is usually how I know people. But
yeah.
yeah. So Ahmed, hopefully he can produce if he does get chosen to start or even come off the bench. But I'm surprised that Rashford was benched. Were you at all surprised by that?
I was very surprised. He was on a little bit of a run. He scored against Southampton. He scored 2 against Barnsley in the League Cup. Rashford is very much a form player. If he starts scoring, you need to keep him playing and keep him producing. And then all of a sudden put him on a bench. I don't know if something happened behind the scenes. Ten Hag was insisting it wasn't dropped; it was with rotation. But it was a strange decision, to do it. But you have to trust Ten Hag and what he's doing. But I think something happened behind the scenes, and he's keeping it in house.
I wouldn't be surprised, and that's the more professional way to go about things. I like that.
Yeah.
I prefer that to a manager that airs out all the dirty laundry and lets everybody in the whole world know what's going on. The press, especially, we know the press in England is already hard enough on England players specifically. So
I mean, he did the same with Jadon Sancho. When he dropped Sancho because he wasn't training very well, he came out and said it. He said, "Oh, he's not in the squad because he's not training well." And then, of course, the media got hold of it, and then Sancho came on his social media and was like, I disagree with that, etc." And then that's where it all blew up. And now he's, So, but if Ten Hag just keeps it in house, they can sort it out behind the scenes and keep him at Man United. But this what happens when you air it out; it can blow up sometimes. So I think that's what he's doing with Rashford now. He's making a bit more of a behind the scenes sort of stuff.
Yeah, which I definitely think is good. So I'm trying to pull up real quick. I know we're trying to get into the match tomorrow, but I was going to touch on, and I know it's a touchy subject, the Europa League match the other day, and I'm trying to find the lineup and to see how much you guys rotated for that match. 1 second here. I'm sure I'll be able to pull it up.
See if I can get it as well. And then
all right, we'll have a race.
Here you go.
Oh man.
Well, I've managed to, I think I've got it on my phone. To be fair, a lot of I would say 3 players probably won't start. Maybe I think Maguire. So Maguire started Wednesday night. I don't think he'll play tomorrow. Ugarte, that was his second start after the League Cup game, so there's potential he'll start. And then it was Diallo, Fernandes, Rashford. But I think it was pretty much a full strength team. Maybe a couple of players, but it was a full strength team, and it was a worry that for the second game in a row we haven't put our chances away.
Yeah, it is definitely a worry. We'll give you some chances. That's one thing though. Against the Spurs team, you will have chances.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of whether or not you guys have got that. I don't want to say timidness in front of goal, but as long as you put that behind you guys, then there'll be goals in this match for sure. So hold on. Looks like there's another comment just put in here. Destiny 5's in the house saying afternoon laddies, or is it ladies? I like it either way. Afternoon Destiny. Good to have you here as well. Destiny, what are you thinking about the game tomorrow? Let us know your predicted score. He says he worries about United's wingers on the counter. Exactly what I said, Robbo. Exactly what I said. Apart from that, we should be able to beat them, he says. It's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be very open. Like I was saying, goals in this match for sure. Man, I'd say a 2-2 draw would not surprise me in the least.
No, I would not be surprised now.
Yeah, no, like I said, there'll be chances in this. We were talking about predicted lineups. I think we'll see much the same that we saw. Well, I mean, obviously there's going to be differences, but I mean, a lot of the same of what we saw in the Europa League. I think the midfield 3 will be probably James Maddison, Kulu, and then one of either Bentancur or Basuma kind of sitting behind them as the more defensive of the midfielders. Kulu is a weird player. You mentioned him. He's almost like a number 8, number 10 hybrid. You know, he plays kind of as an attacking midfielder, but he can hold on to the ball so well. You know, he retains the ball perfectly, almost Kane-like in a way. I know that anytime I compare anybody to Kane, people are like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." But it's almost Kane-like, his ability to use his body and strength to retain the ball. So yeah, I think he's essential in our midfield. Obviously, I think our defense, you know, will go back to the normal, the normal two of Van de Ven and Romero, hopefully at least. Oh, look at this. Wayne Bonner's here. He says, if neither team wins, I reckon it'll be 2-2. Look at that. I said that before I even saw this. Wayne, we are on the same wavelength. Destiny says that he'd take a draw. And Wayne's also saying Udogie and Porro will be major players for us tomorrow, especially defensively. For sure, man. For sure. I hope that Udogie can put in a good performance. He hasn't quite been himself this season. I know that he's kind of coming back from injury, doesn't have tons of minutes in his legs yet. Another question I wanted to ask before we get into predicted score and things like that. What are some of your favorite goals from this matchup from recent years that you can think of?
I should have prepared for this one. I think going back, so it's about 20 something years ago. I think it was like in 2001. There was it was Tottenham. It was Man United against Tottenham at Tottenham, and Tottenham went 3-0 up at half time, and Man United came back and won 5-3. And the pick of the goal to me was Beckham getting the 5th goal, chests it on the area, and then just smashes it into the bottom left corner to seal what was at half time an absolute. There was no chance of Man United winning that game, but we came out and scored really early, and then to be 3-0 down at half time and win 5-3, that sort of sticks out for me. But also, whenever I think of Man United Tottenham, it's the 1999 last game of the Premier League season. Man United has to beat Tottenham to win the league, and then Andy Cole scores a second half winner to start what was the first of 3 trophies that season to do the treble. A lot of Arsenal fans I speak to say that it was, Tottenham gave that up, but no professional footballer will give up a game. I don't care who you are, you will not give up a game. They went 1-0 up in that game. But yeah, whenever I think of Man United Tottenham, that's one of the first games that comes to my head. 1999, last game of the season, Old Trafford, win the league, start the treble off. But yeah, that's my 2 sort of ones that sort of stick in the mind.
I love it. That's going back quite some time for me. I was a ripe 8 years old at the time. Living the dream. So some of my favorites, just real quick. I obviously Tanguy Ndombele scored one of his few goals that he's scored for us, and I think that was in 2020. It was a really nice goal. And then I'm trying to think of some more good ones. You go back a little further. There was a year where Clint Dempsey, the American, scored twice against you guys in one season, and one of the goals was actually to clinch the winner for us against against you guys at Old Trafford for the first time in. It was a big long amount of years. Like 20 years or something like that. It was crazy. We hadn't beaten you guys, at home at Old Trafford, and we managed it with a goal by Clint Dempsey. And I can't remember if that was the goal in the snow or if that was the one at White Hart Lane. But there was one of the goals that year was in the snow. Clint Dempsey was a weird old player. He either would score an important goal or he would go missing the entire match. But yeah, so those were good ones for me. Dele, I remember, scored off of a corner against you guys, a really nice header from a corner. We don't score many set piece goals, so I remember that one pretty vividly. But yeah. There's been some good goals in this match.
One of the most famous moments there, I think we spoke about it on a couple of episodes ago, was Mendes scoring or not scoring when he shot it from 40 odd yards out. Roy Carroll, the keeper at the time, fumbled it. It went over by the line, nearly hit the back of the net. He claws it out. runs off like nothing's happened, and there's no goal line technology, nothing like that, and absolute outrageous. And yeah, that's one of the best goals that never was. But yeah, that's another memory.
You see some funny pictures of that, and people draw like a line in, even though there was no goal line technology, and they put the big like circle where the ball is, and
yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Wayne, by the way, gifted a membership to the pod. Big up, Wayne. I appreciate you big time, man. Wayne is today's sponsor for the show. Big up to Wayne. He says September 2001, we were 3-0 up at halftime, and Cole scored in that first minute in the second half. It was one-way traffic after that. So yeah, he remembers. Wayne remembers.
He remembers that.
And then he was saying the goal in the snow was at the Lane. Okay, so it was not the one in the snow. That was the winner against you guys at Old Trafford. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Good memories. Always good to have some memories. And he says, the Mendes goal, January 2005 at Old Trafford. I swore a hell of a lot that night. Yeah, man. I bet you're not the only one. You're not the only one. Yeah. I'm sure every single United fan was there with you, man.
What was the result in that game in the end? I can't remember. I think did it finish a draw? I can't remember what the actual. Maybe Wayne can tell us. But yeah, I can't remember what the actual result in the game was.
I bet you Wayne knows. Wayne, if you know, let us know. We would truly appreciate that. And yeah, guys. So Robbo and I did something kind of fun. We both put together our own combined 11s for this match. I'm excited to see. I actually haven't looked at Robbo's yet. He hasn't seen mine.
I haven't seen yours.
I'm excited to see. So let me get his pulled up first here.
I'll talk you through it when it comes up. I'll talk you through it as well. So you can sort of explain my decisions.
Perfect. Here's Robbo's coming up. All right. So we'll start in goal.
I'll start in goal. Yeah, Onana, I think big game goalkeeper. He might have a mistake in him, but I think Vicario does have a mistake in him as well. But Onana at the moment, I think, is the form goalkeeper. Pulled off a great double save against Palace the other day. I think his presence in the goal really works for Man United. So yeah, I have gone for Onana over Vicario, but only just that was a tough decision to make, that one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. They're both great goalkeepers. I have fond memories of putting 3 past Onana in the Champions League final. Semi-final. Yes. Sorry, semi-final. So yeah, those are my memories of him. But no, he is a great goalkeeper for sure. So can't blame you there. And then we'll move on to your back line.
So I've got 3 Tottenham players in my back 4. The reason being, if Luke Shaw was fit, he would have been left back. But at the moment, I don't know what's going on with Luke Shaw at the moment. You know, he was injured. He's been injured since February, but he played for England at the European Championships in the summer at the end of the tournament, and then he's injured again. I'm not quite sure. So that's why I haven't gone for Luke Shaw at left back. Otherwise, he would have been in if he was fit. I think Martinez is an absolute cert to go in any team. I think he's an absolute brilliant defender. A little bit aggressive at times, but sometimes you need that as a centre back. I love Van de Ven. I think he's one of the best centre backs in the league already, and he's only going to get better with that. And I've gone for Pedro Porro at right back. I do like Dalot, but I think Pedro Porro just nicks it for me. A bit more sort of dangerous, going forward, a bit more aggressive and defensively as well. I think if you put a speedy player against Dalot, he can struggle, whereas Pedro Porro has that sort of, for me, physicality that can deal with that. I nearly put De Ligt in my defence as well, but I would, at the moment, I would go Van de Ven over De Ligt at the moment.
Gotcha. No, I like it. I would. You make good points. It's not exactly what I chose, but the points you make are definitely sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. So all right, now we'll move into midfield.
So James Maddison, I think, excellent player. Unfortunate not to get to the England squad. He can create something out of nothing, which is it's the same as Fernandes, which is why I've got them on either side. Both of them can create anything out of nothing, and really sort of positive players. Really want to just get the ball and do something with it. And then, Mainu, I think he's one of the standout players in the Premier League. He was absolutely amazing for England, and he's only going to get better. And I think he's started like the last, 20, 30 games for Man United in the league. He's been absolutely amazing. So yeah, he has to go in. But Maddison and Fernandez on either side. Imagine if you're a striker and you've got those two on either side pinging balls to you. You're going to score some goals.
Happy days. Yeah, happy days as a striker with those two servicing you the ball for sure, man. And I agree with Manu. It's crazy that he had his first European start was after his first start in a actual like championship match for his country.
Yeah, that was a crazy stat. Like to play your first European game, and start your first European game after you've played your first international tournament was crazy.
Absolutely. So again, I didn't watch tons of the match. Did he play well in Europe the other night?
He didn't start actually. He didn't start. Did he start? Hang on. I need to check that over. I need to check my sources on that.
I think I'm on crack because I thought he did. So that's my bad. Sorry about that. Feeding you incorrect information here, Robbo.
No, he didn't start. He came off the bench with about sort of 10 minutes to go. But I think it was his first European appearance or something like that. I think that was it. I think it was his first European appearance.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't start. He's become. This is where Man United are at the moment. You know, he's 19, and he's one of Man United's most important players, and it's recognisable when he's not playing. We do miss him. So, and he's gonna go on to have a really big career with Man United.
I agree completely. He's so young, such a young fella, already making waves. Yeah, I can't see any way but up for him as well. So,
and then up top, I've gone with Højlund over Solanke. I think Højlund for me just edges it. A better finisher, I think, than Solanke. Although Højlund hasn't got that knack of being in the right place at the right time at the moment, but I think he's got a better finish on him. So I've gone Højlund. I love, like we had this conversation, Kulusevski. I think he was the second person I put in the team. When I was doing this lineup, I put Fernandez in and then I put Kulusevski in because I have to put him in that team. I really like what he does, and I would love to have him at Man United on that side. And Garnacho, again, another exciting young player. I think it's so dangerous on that side. He's getting better every season as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if in a year or two, someone like a Real Madrid or something like that would come calling for him. But he's another production of the Man United academy. I've got 2 Man United academy players in there.
Can't beat that. No. You love to see the academy players come through and make a difference. So Wayne Bonner, sorry, I was going back through some comments. He was saying it did end up 0-0 that night. And yeah. So and then he was saying 2 dodgy keepers, so it was a tough choice. He kind of agrees with your choice of keeper there. They're both a little dodgy. He says he'd have gone with the back 3 of VDV, Romero, and De Ligt. We were actually keeping it. We were trying to keep it a 4-3-3, Wayne, but no, I totally understand. James Love Spurs is in the house saying big up back, James. Saw you put out some new content. Went ahead and threw a like on that. Watch that. Good stuff. Audio Artisans here. Afternoon chaps and chat. What's up, audio? And then James is saying no Son. But I don't disagree with you there. I don't think Heung-min Son has been the player he used to be so far this season. So you leaving him out does not surprise me a bit. No hard feelings there from me for sure. Then we got Destiny 5 saying Højlund ain't proved anything to anyone yet. I disagree largely. Totally fair. Yeah, fair. Yep. And then we got Call Him Biddy. Never met you before, bro, but good to have you here, man. He says, not a Spurs fan, but Solanke surely got to be an over Højlund. More Prem goals. They're different types of strikers for me. So I can see the reasoning, behind having Højlund start ahead of Solanke. Two very different players, in my opinion. But then we've got Pranvat. He's our resident United fan. So Robbo, you're amongst friends.
Come on, United.
Yeah, yes. You've got an somebody here on your side. So that's great. Pranvat, what's up, my man? He says, best of luck, guys. Best of luck back. Destiny saying, De Ligt, he's off. He's finished. I don't know. What do you think about that, real quick, Robbo? Do you think there's anything in that? Do you think that?
I think De Ligt. I think he is a good defender. He's come from Bayern Munich. Obviously, Ten Hag trusts him, and I think he'll get better as the season goes on. And him and Martinez, I think, will form a a good partnership. Martinez plays well. So De Ligt is quite a cooler player than Martinez, and obviously last season when Martinez played with Varane, they were a good partnership. So I think that'll be a really good partnership once they sort of play more regularly.
Yeah, and one of them's got to decide, who's going to be the more aggressive, like pressing of the two center backs, who's going to sit.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. That time, that partnership, it kind of takes time to form. So yeah, I agree with you there too, man. I agree with you there too. Destiny's let us know there's been a last minute winner from us. That's a real kick in
Why
the
are you
nuts.
bringing bad news?
I don't know, Destiny. What are you doing, man? Kicking us in the nuts here with that, but that's okay. We'll handle it. We'll go do our business tomorrow. Sorry, Robbo. And then we won't let him get too far ahead of us.
No, that's fine.
I'm just playing. I gotta act tough. I gotta act tough. My friends are here, Robbo, so I gotta act.
No,
like
of course,
I'm not worried
absolutely.
about you guys. And then Pranvat's saying, I like most of the team, but can't get both Madison and Bruno. They are the same profile. People said that Spurs couldn't play Kulu and Madison because they were a similar profile, but look how well that's worked. It's going to be my argument there. And I think that would be a hell of a creative midfield. And I think Mainu could hold it down. I think he could hold it down as kind of the six in that formation. So I really like that combined 11 you put together, Robbo. I'm gonna get mine pulled up.
Yeah, let's go for yours now.
As soon as I did it, I was like, man, I should have included more United players. So hold on, let me get it pulled up here. All right. So there is mine. Oh, but it's looking weird. One sec. Can you guys tell I'm not super prepared? It's okay. It happens to me a lot. All right. So I've got Vicario in goal. Love the guy. I think that he's becoming a bit more commanding in his box, which was like my one complaint about him, was that he was so easily, barged over. He was so easily kind of pushed around in the box. So I think that now that he's become a bit more commanding, the one thing I'd say is I wish he wouldn't punch the ball so often. I wish he would collect it. He would actually come out and claim the ball, because when he punches it, he so often punches it into the path of an opposing player, an opposing attacking player, and puts himself right back in the danger zone. So, but yeah, I think Vicario just edges it for me.
Here's a question for you. So, obviously, you've got Vicario as a really good goalkeeper, and obviously you had Hugo Lloris, which was he was a really good goalkeeper in his prime. Who would you choose out of the two?
It's tough, but I think with the way the game's going, I think you need a goalkeeper that can play out from the back, and that was absolutely not Hugo's game. I think Hugo's a better shot stopper, but I think all around, I think you got to go with Vicario just with his ability to distribute. But that's a great question. Yeah, so Hugo just edges him out as a shot stopper, but Vicario's no slouch there. But Vicario can play out from the back so much better. He also has one less drink driving charge, and so I like that.
That helps. That helps, to be fair.
Yep. Sorry, Hugo. I'm not trying to hold that against you. We've all made mistakes, and just glad no one is hurt. But then, so for my back four, I did manage to sneak a United player in there, as you see. I went for Pedro Porro on the right, like you were saying. I think he's solid enough defensively, and then going forward, he's definitely a threat. He's got a hell of a right foot on him. Can definitely, threaten on goal. We don't have a lot of players that seem willing to take long shots, but he is not afraid to. So I think you have to include him for that reason. I've got the pair of Romero and Van de Ven. I just like what they've got going together. You know how I was saying you kind of have to pick who's going to be which player out of the two, and you kind of need a player to sit and then a player to push forward. Van de Ven has definitely been that guy that's mopping everything up. That's covering, I guess you would say, for that high line that we play, while Romero has kind of the license to go forward and do his thing up there. So not to say Van de Ven doesn't get forward, but they're going to be my two. I like the aggression that Romero shows. Van de Ven's a lot more calm. So I think they're a great partnership. Luke Shaw is going to be maybe my surprise pick. I know you're saying that he's not fully fit. He's not, played, every match for you guys. He might be unfit currently. I just think that he's a better pick than Udogie. I know he was a player we were looking at under Pochettino. We wanted to bring him in. And I know Poch kind of helped to make him what he is during their time together at Southampton. I don't know. I'm a big Luke Shaw fan. I think that he doesn't get enough praise for as good of a player as he is. People were saying for a while that he had fallen off. He kind of, it's weird. He put on some weight and got better. Which is not how it always goes for players, you know. So yeah. Do you agree? After he kind of bulked up a bit, that he seemed to be a better player.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right in what Poch did with him at Southampton, and I think they were looking for him at Tottenham. But yeah, seeing as you look at the images of him in, I think it was the European Championships in like 2021, he was quite a muscly player, like, which he wasn't a few years before that, and that seems to have improved his game. But maybe that's why he's getting so injured all the time now. I don't know. Like, it is a shame he is very injury prone at the moment. I'm not quite sure why. It's because he is an absolutely fantastic left back. He's a cert to start for Man United when he is fit. At the moment, he's just, I don't know why, he's just constantly injured all the time. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. We had a legend show we did, showcasing Gareth Bale and his rise. And I think there was a similar thing there where after he put on a bunch of muscle at Real Madrid, that's when the injuries really started for him.
Yeah.
And maybe some players, I mean, their bodies are just supposed to be carrying a certain amount of weight. When you go over that, you know, be it muscle, be it fat, whatever it is, maybe that, you know, those injuries start to accumulate. That could be a similar thing with Luke Shaw. That's a good point. You know, that maybe his body is just not meant to be carrying so much muscle. So that's a good point. Pranvat is saying that he would have had Onana in, but that maybe that's his bias. No, man, it could really go either way. Pranvat. But I'm sticking with Vicario. Then we got, is this you, Robbo? Or is this a different Robbie?
That's not me. That is not me.
Well, Robbie boy, good to have you in the house, man.
Robbie boy.
Big fan of Vicario, but he needs to learn to catch. Exactly. I'm so sick of him punching the ball away. So tired of it. Daniel Coys is in the house. Big up, Daniel. Good to have you here, bro. As always. Good to have you. Let us know what you think of our lineups. And then James Love Spurs is saying that Shaw is injured too much at the moment. Fully agree. But it's a shame. He's a great player. Pranvat saying De Ligt or Martinez has to get in the team. See, your bias was coming through with Onana. I think mine might be coming through with the center backs. Wayne saying that Luke Shaw's a good fullback. Is he injured or playing? Wasn't there something with Mourinho saying that he either had a weight problem or something like that? That's a question that we'll have to direct Robbo's way. Did Mourinho say anything about that?
Yeah, so they had so Mourinho, you know, you guys will know from when he was manager of Tottenham for his time, he'll pick a player out and make a show of him to sort of show who's boss. And yeah, he did have a sort of a thing about Shaw, about him, about the way he was playing and his sort of weight and his sort of the way he sort of was looking after himself. So that might have something to do with why he has now become a bit more sort of, you know, bulky and muscly. But yeah, so yeah, Mourinho had a problem with him at Man United, but Mourinho has a lot of problems with a lot of players at other clubs. I think when he was at Tottenham, was it Dele Alli he sort of had an issue with at Tottenham and made a sort of public thing about it?
He did. He sure did. Yeah. The whole are you Dele or are you Dele's brother? And then, you know, he said, I'm Dele.
Yeah.
Well, then play like Dele. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Mourinho is definitely a polarizing figure. He you either love him or you hate him, or you do both at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, he's an interesting manager. Never won anything at Spurs. People would argue he wasn't given the chance to. You know, sacked right before a cup final, where Ryan Mason was in charge. That was a wild one.
That was a very strange decision. I will never understand that. Mourinho he's a winner. He knows how to win cup finals, and like I said, you know, with Tottenham not won anything for a while, to do that a week before a cup final, maybe, I don't know, maybe Daniel Levy was worried that he would win it and not have to pay bonus. I was going
to say the same thing. There's a lot you could say about that one.
Yeah.
Who knows what's in the mind of Daniel Levy? Yeah. I won't pretend to, and I don't want to. I don't think. No. You know, it's probably a pretty crazy world in there, in that brain of his.
Yeah.
Daniel's giving me some sick. He asked me how I've got Rashford in a combined 11. What's he done in the last 18 months? Even lost his place in the England squad, but he always seems to turn up against Spurs. I'm afraid for what he might do against us tomorrow. I think when he's on it, he's a great winger. We were after him for a while ourselves, or at least there was talk of it, paper talk. There's always talk of players moving. But yeah, I like Rashford when he's on form. And I think that he would do good in this squad. Especially getting fed with this midfield that we've got. Oh, I didn't even go with my midfield. Sorry, I skipped right over. In the midfield, I've got Kulu and Madison. I'm obsessed with those two together right now. I think they balance out perfectly. And then I've got Mainu. He's made it into my midfield as well. You can't ignore the performances that he's been putting in. I think he would do a good job kind of sitting behind these guys a bit. I think him and Kulusevski could sort of take turns on who's going to be the most offensive and then who's going to push up a bit. But they've both got great ball retention skills, ball winning skills. I think that three is a solid midfield. A lot of people would ask me, probably including yourself, Robbo, how does why can't I think of his name? I want to call him something mean.
You're about Fernandes.
Yep, exactly. How does Bruno Fernandes not get in there? Great question. I was
going to say that. I was going to say, how does Fernandes not get in the team for the player that's over the last 3-4 years made the most chances? You have to have him in that team. So I totally disagree with that one.
If I had to put him in, I'd put him in over Madison. I know that's crazy, but I'd say he's been a bit more consistent than Madison. Madison's a great player when he's on, but when he's not on, he might as well not even be on the pitch. He either makes a huge impact or no impact. I just have a personal bias against Bruno Fernandes, and I will be honest about that. I'll tell it to you straight. It's just personal bias. So yeah, that's my three midfield. And then up to the front line, Sonny, Rashford, and Solanke. And I know that's a controversial one too. I've been a very, very loud, I don't want to say hater, but a very, very loud proponent of maybe Sonny coming off the bench and not starting matches. But he's another one of those players that when he's on form, when he's on song, you can't leave him out. He's capable of scoring a goal from nothing, scoring from range with either foot. So that's why I've included both him and Rashford, just because they're both capable on their day of doing it all themselves, and having a player like that in your starting 11 is always a good thing, I think. And I also think you've got the midfield here to kind of cover for them. And in case they're not really exactly doing their thing, you've got goals from midfield in this starting 11. And then Solanke, I like his hold-up play. I like what he brings to a team in that regard. And like we were saying, his being in the right place at the right time. I'd say he might be a bit better than Højlund. Again, this might be my bias. Let me know what you think about holding up play, getting others involved, getting his head on the ball. It's a toss-up between those two for me. But, I picked Solanke ahead of Højlund there. Do you think am I crazy for that? Do you think?
No, I think I did struggle with that particular choice. Solanke, like I said, he's developing that knack of being at the right place at the right time. Yes, his 2 goals have been tap-ins, but he's there. Like Van Nistelrooy was for Man United. He was one of the greatest finishers, but he was just always there. He was at the right place at the right time, always going for a tap-in. Exactly. And that's what you want. One of the most frustrating things as a football fan is when a shot is made or a cross is made and there's no one there. Yeah. The top strikers are there. They know where the ball's going to go and they anticipate it. And Solanke is developing that now. Højlund is developing it, but just the reason I went for Højlund was the overall finisher. I think Højlund is a bit of a better finisher than Solanke, but it was a definite toss up between the two. But yeah, maybe I went with my Man United head to get Højlund in.
Hey, I think we're both doing it a bit, but that's what it's all about. It's all about that for sure. Jose's in the house from El Tel Cockerel, and he brings up a good point. Everybody, if you haven't already and you support the Mighty Spurs or whoever you support, go over and head on over to his channel, El Tel Cockerel. The best moderator, the best in the West, Jose, go and check him out. He's got a wonderful channel over there, building a wonderful community. If you'd like to be part of it, there is the link right there. I suggest you go over and take a look. He's got some good stuff. Daniel, I think, is giving me some stick. Let's see. He's got when he's on it, then mate, what's that? 3 times every 4 years? Inconsistent as hell. I'm getting it hard. I'm getting stick from my own guys, but it's good. I love it. Daniel will definitely tell you how he feels. He says, shows how bad both teams' forward lines are if an out of form trash Rashford gets in that team. Shit. Tell us how you really feel, Daniel. Damn. And then Wayne Bonner said Rashford's been done for a while. Do you think, and I'll go ahead and throw that to you. Do you think Rashford's done? Do you think that we've seen the best of him and that he's now on the decline?
No, I don't think he's on the decline. I personally think, and I don't like seeing homegrown players go, but I think he needs a change. I think he needs to either, I don't know, change himself or change his club and go somewhere else. You know, I know PSG were rumored to be sort of interested in sort of having a look at him, but
that could be a good move.
I think Rashford needs a new lease of life. You know, I don't want that to be a new manager, but I think if Ten Hag was to go and a new manager came in, I think Rashford would have a new lease of life again. But if he wants to be a one club man, like he's born in Manchester, raised, played for Manchester United since youth. If he wants to play for Man United the whole career, he can't just wait for a new manager to come in and get a new lease of life. He's going to have to learn to get out of his head and produce. But hopefully he'll do that this season, because an on-form Rashford is a really good player. 2 seasons ago, he was one of the best players in the league. Got 30 goals, over 30 goals in all competitions. But
there was a time where I wanted him so bad as either a Kane backup or to partner with Kane. I thought the two of them would have been wonderful together. We've got to see them in Europe together a couple of times. For England. So yeah, I mean. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's weird to see what can happen to a player, so quickly. But we saw the same with Dele here at Tottenham. It just didn't work out for him. I'm not saying, there were obviously some behind the scenes things going on with Dele that I'm not sure are happening with Rashford. But still, it's hard to get out of your own head sometimes. Like you said, sometimes a change of scenery will do it for you. I think PSG would be wonderful for him. I think he would absolutely excel over there in France. And maybe he could even take a page out of Kane's book. Maybe go to Germany, play over there. I haven't heard much
players are going there now.
Yeah, it's a good league. Honestly, it's a better league than it's made out to be. And I think the style of play fits really well with players that shine in England. I don't think there's too much of a difference in play styles. It's not like going from England to Italy, where you're changing from a much more frenetic offensive game to a more slow-paced, defensive-minded game. So I think, he could definitely do well in Germany. So that's an option for him.
It wouldn't surprise me tomorrow if Rashford either has an absolute stinker, is taken off after 60 minutes, or absolutely smashes it and scores a couple, and we're all talking about Rashford being back on form. It would not surprise me either of those that happens tomorrow with Rashford.
It could go either way, for sure. For sure. He is that type of guy. We've got Shemtan in the house. What's up, Shemtan? The man from Turkey says, hello, Colin and Robbie. Hope you're both okay today. Yeah, man, I'm good. I don't want to speak for Robbo. You good, Robbo? You got a pint there. I see it. Got me
pint. I'm sat at Old Trafford, as you can see behind me. Got a pint in my hand. I'm having a great conversation with you guys. It's all what could be better. And we've got a good game to watch tomorrow evening as well.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Robbie Boy saying that he definitely thinks it's Solanke over Højlund, but he's a Spurs fan, so he guesses that he's somewhat biased.
Yeah.
Hey man, you gotta be a bit
absolutely
biased.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any one fan that's entirely objective. Maybe there are, but none that I've met. Dragon D's nuts. DDN says Rashford should go to Germany. Germany. Look at that. He said that before I said it. Holy smokes. I'm on the same wavelength with the chat today. So yeah, I think he would do well in Germany too, Dragon. Dragon D's Nuts, by the way, the best name on YouTube, I think.
That's a quality name.
Yeah, it truly is. It's right on the line of what you can and can't say. I'm a big fan of those. So yeah, that's my squad. We can get that off there so people can stop seeing my bookmarks. Always think that's a little weird. Daniel says if even Southgate drops him, that says it all. That's in regard to Rashford. Do we really think Southgate's the best manager? But I get what you're saying. He's got his favorites, and if you drop by him, then it really must show that you're out of favor. You're out of form. So I get it.
Yeah.
The Workers Reading Room. What's up? Good morning from Alberta, Canada. Great show, guys. Well, thank you so much. This is fully international now. We've got Robbo in England. We've got myself in the United States. We've got you in Canada. We've got Shamtan in Turkey. We've got people from everywhere. Very good to have you. Thanks for coming through. If you like what you're seeing, definitely hit the subscribe button. It looks like you're a member, so I bet you've already done so. So thank you. Truly appreciate it, my friend. Truly appreciate it. And then Daniel says, this ain't 2021, 22. We're nearly in 2025. He's finished. We'll have to see. I hope he doesn't make us eat our words tomorrow, Daniel. We will see. And then we've got Graham, a.k.a. Spurs GCTV, saying, afternoon, gents in chat. Come on, you Spurs. We are about to wrap up, actually. I don't want to keep you too long today. I know there's football on. We've got some family stuff you got going on tonight, too. Before we head off, may I get your predicted score for tomorrow, sir?
So I'll do a little bit of a plug for myself as well. So on my TikTok, I predicted the Premier League scores, and if I get 5 or less right outcomes in the week, I have to do a forfeit. I have predicted Man United to win this game 2-1. So I just have to get the outcome right. So as long as Man United win, my prediction is correct. It would not surprise me if we see a 3-2, a 4-3 either way, because I think that once both teams start to attack, I think we'll see a lot of action, a lot of goals. If both teams can get their scoring boots on, I think we'll see a lot of goals. Man United, 2 games, 1 goal, about 1 million chances. Hopefully tomorrow will be the time that we'll get the goals and start winning again and start climbing the league. I'm not happy being in the bottom half of the league. We're too good for Man United. We cannot be bottom half of the league. We have to start climbing, and tomorrow is a perfect opportunity, and also to go above Tottenham as well in that. So I think it's a must-win game for both clubs. I do think so. I think to get the negative press away, I think either team has to win this game. I think if Man United win, it puts the pressure on Tottenham and Ange, and vice versa. I think if Tottenham win tomorrow, the pressure will be massive on Ten Hag. There's one more game before the next international break, and if we are languishing in the bottom half, the pressure is only going to mount on him. So I predict the 2-1 Man United win, but I predict a really, really good game. I think it's going to be really entertaining. I'm looking forward to it.
Lovely. And guys, right there is his TikTok link, tiktok.com/@Robbo_reacts. That's where you can catch Robbo whenever he's not here hanging out with us. Did you just get another pint delivery, my friend?
I did.
Look how lovely you've got the good life, man. You're living.
I do all right.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So yeah, guys, definitely make sure to go over to TikTok. And so I'm not a big TikTok guy. Is it liking, or following, subscribing? What do they call it?
So basically it's people following me. They comment on all sorts of stuff that I do, predictions, things like that. And I've done a couple of live watch-alongs recently of the Man United games, which have both been good games to sort of watch in chances, but not good games to sort of watch Man United win. But yeah, I'm trying to build up a following to sort of create my own content on there, and then then I can start to sort of do other stuff as well. So I started from scratch on TikTok. I've got over 1,700 followers now, and I'm starting to build. So yeah, anybody who's watching now, make sure you click that follow button, and then so also my followers also suggest the forfeits as well. So all the forfeits are down to those guys suggesting them. The hot chip challenge, the Ted Lasso mustache I had to do.
Those hot chips are terrible, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've done it twice, and I regretted it both times.
It was absolutely awful. It's one of the worst things I've ever done. It was absolutely awful, but
hurts here, and it hurts.
Absolutely,
here.
Yeah.
You get it all three places.
I was suffering for about 24 hours, but that's what I get for not getting my predictions right. So there you go.
You do it for the fans. You're there for your people.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Real quick, I want to get to a couple more comments. Daniel says he's not biased. He'll say when his team are pants or not. He doesn't care if it's a Tottenham shirt or United shirt. Big up to you, Daniel. We'll have to get you on the next show. Probably do a reaction show after the match tomorrow. Would love to have you on that. Robbie Boy says that he thinks that United will show up against us, but a Spurs win is definitely doable. Agreed, big time. Destiny says that Ten Hag will sit back due to the pressure, and it all depends on if Spurs can finish their chances, because if we can, it might get ugly. If we don't, I agree, United could nick it. And I'm going to go ahead and give my Spurs my score prediction. I think that Spurs will win. I think it's going to be 3-2. I'm going for a high scoring match. I just think that both teams will have chances just with the way that we play. You guys will definitely get in behind us a few times. If you guys can take your chances, you'll absolutely score. I think Brennan Johnson scores tomorrow. I think that he continues his 3-3 so far. I think tomorrow he makes it 4-4. And then, Solanke, we've got Solanke there. We've got Kulu. We've got Madison. We've got all kinds of players that can get, a ball in the back of the net. So yeah, I think 3-2 is going to be mine, but it could be 3-2 either way, but I'm going to say 3-2 for Spurs. And Robbo, are you doing and look at Simply Aces in the house saying Man U will win 3-1 as we cannot defend for Toffee. Simply Ace, where's your man? Be confident. Show your confidence. Come on, let's be confident. But Robbo, are you doing a live watch along tomorrow, sir?
I've not planned to do one. So I haven't planned to do one. I'm probably just gonna maybe just watch the game at home. And just the stress of a big game like that. Maybe not the watch along. I'll be happy to sort of join on for a reaction afterwards.
Great, let's do that.
Not too many controversial moments or anything like that. I'm more than happy to do that. But I think tomorrow is just to hopefully enjoy the game.
Yeah, it's hard to do. Watch alongs are hard. You don't get to watch the game very closely. You've got to watch for comments. You've got to, you're busy doing other things. But yeah, maybe after the lineups come out, we could do like a quick, how do you feel about that? Just like a quick, maybe like 5-10 minute thing, and then maybe something afterwards. We'll plan it. We'll talk.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Lovely, man. Lovely. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us today. I want to put back up here the link for Robbo's TikTok. And then I also would be remiss if I did not put up the link to my best buddy Jose's channel. If I could find it. Where is it at? Here it is. Elto Cockerell is where you can find Jose, the best moderator. So go over there and sub if you haven't. And most importantly, my guest today, Robbo, there is his TikTok link. So guys, go ahead and show your support to both those lovely fellas. Hit the like if you'd like and show your support here. That would mean a lot to me and Jamie also. And Jamie will be back very soon, everybody. Thanks for putting up with me only while he's been gone. I know it's not quite the same. But Robbo, I think that's it. Is there anything else you would like to say before we pop off of here?
Just a controversial one. Come on, United. Let's go.
Love it. I love it, man. Thanks again for joining. And
no worries. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'll catch you soon, man. I'll speak with you just a bit.
No worries. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Yep. See you, bub. And then, guys, I just want to say, lastly, the link is up above. We are sponsored by Alloy Collectors. And if you would like to, take a look at these awesome collectible metal kits, they're kind of like Funko Pops. They're just some nice collectibles. Go ahead and take a look at alloycollectors.com, uk.alloycollectors.com. Sorry. With the code 2sides, we'll get you 15% off. And I'm going to play everybody out with our lovely intro, as I always say, because we don't have an outro. Here it goes, everyone. See you next time. Come on, you Spurs.